Hey there, just a quick update on some of the changes I've been making to my buggy. Questionable decision. Let me show you what I've done. So this flops, right? And it's because of the way this manifold is, it doesn't have anything to stop it. So I'm going to make a brace that goes from here on the carburetor down to a bolt that's on the fuel pump. And once I do that, then that bracket will hold this carburetor and the carburetor won't be flopping around like crazy. Okay, so here's the piece. I bent it and then bent it the wrong spot, so I had to straighten it back out and add an extra ½ inch because I measured it wrong. This corner had to be cut so it would clear the carburetor, and then this had to be notched because you can't put both sides in without taking something completely apart, so I had to open that up so I can slide it into place, if that makes sense. My roommate spray paints it and then bakes it for about 2 hours at 250 degrees, and it really dries the paint, makes it hard, and looks really nice, so it's going to be good. So there it is in place, and that should take care of the flopping carburetor problem. Now, one thing I'm not very happy with right now is this shifter. I'm not a big fan of the T-handle shifter. Also, this one, the handle is real floppy and stuff. So I bought a stock shifter, which I actually like a little bit better. Now I'm going to see if I can just replace this and put a stock shifter back in its place. So these are the new shifter parts. There's the new boot and the knob, and of course the piece that holds the shifter in place, and the spring, and the reverse lockout plate. Yeah, there's one part. So I'm just going to put this in for right now. I know it's going to take adjustment to get it working right and get the transmission, all the gears in the right spot, but for right now, all I'm going to do is put it in place, and then I'll watch some video like I do everything else. I'll watch some videos and see how this all works. Of course, this has got to be all lubricated and stuff like that. I just want to see if I can get this to go in place, make sure that it seems to fit about right, and then I can do all the adjustments later on. But I think I'm going to be a lot happier with this shifter. For whatever reason, I don't like the big, heavy clunkiness of the MP shifter. I kind of like these stock style shifters better. Put a quick little, just a little bit of tightness on this, and then drop the boot on. I'm not going to do that yet because I've got to take it all apart. I am going to put the knob on. And for now, we're going to just call this task done. Obviously, it's not done. There's still other work that needs to get completed to make it all work. But, right, it's going in and out of gear. It's not in the right place this way because it doesn't want to go between gears, but it's going between a couple gears right there. It's in the neutral area right there. So we're close. It's just going to take some adjustment, and then it should all be good. Happy about that. So as you can see, there's all kinds of tabs like that are just crappy that somebody has put in at some point in time, and I need to get rid of them. You can see those stands where there used to be seats and some seat braces, like right there. So there's all this kind of stuff that needs to be cleaned up. Now, if it needs to be replaced, that's fine. But for right now, I just want to get this stuff out of the way. And it just makes it easier when we start putting everything back together. Here we are, all done. At least with those. A whole lot more to go, but my hands are hurting. Well, this doesn't work. The distance from where this is mounted, the clearance down in here is not, for the pedals, is not right at all. And my first thought was that the pedals I bought were bad, but that's not the case, because I tried putting on the old stock pedals, and the same issue is present for that. There seems to be a little issue with alignment. Looks like the center line of the brake line is not at the center line of where the pedal mount is for the brake. That could be the pedals, or it's where they mount this is not exactly right. So I'm going to end up, I think, having to put a piece of metal like a shim and move this over just a tiny bit to make the brake pedal line up a little bit more. But I think for now I'm going to cut some of this stuff off, because that's not going to be used, and I can kind of clean some of that stuff up. And then I think I'm going to end up having to cut, have to cut some of this bottom off so that the pedals have enough clearance to turn. It's got some little tabs here, and you can see this radius right here, and that's all geared towards keeping the pedals from falling over. I guess they consider it a pedal stop. So I'm going to have to take all of that out and then try to make something that will sit back there that'll stop the pedals from falling forward. But I guess this is just what you expect, right? It's not, everything's not perfect. So I'll see how it goes. So the pedals are starting to come together. It's more work than I would have ever imagined. I did not think that I would have all these problems with this pedal assembly. What happened was the mount had to be cut out so that this part of the pedal would clear the bottom of the mount. And for whatever reason, when they made this mount, they made it as if that didn't exist, and I would have thought they would have known how to do that. So what I've had to do is build a little bracket that it's going to sit up on top of. In other words, it's going to fit about like that, and then that will make everything clear, because there should have been a little extra clearance to begin with. So, and then I bought a new throttle, because the one I had when I started taking it apart just fell completely apart. So I got a metal one that's not going to break. So it's all coming together. It's a slow process. I've got other projects I'm working on, and so I don't get to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I'm making progress. Thank you for sticking around. Really appreciate it. Hey, there's lots more videos on our channel of my friends and I exploring old abandoned mines. It's a lot of fun and very interesting. Take a few minutes and watch a couple of videos. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.